Let's go. What's up, guys? This is Gregory from photosincolor.com, and finally we are back for another PIC Live show here on YouTube. We are half an hour late. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll have seen that I put up a poll to see if people thought I was going to be late. Half of you thought that I was going to be on time. I don't know why any of you thought that. Anyway, we're late. We're just getting back into the PIC Live vibe. There was a lot to set up today. We've got cameras, we've got new GoPro. We had to update every single piece of software because for some reason everything got updated in the last 2 months. But we are back, and today we are doing a Q&A, or an Ask Me Anything, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, I'm going to answer, I'm not going to ask your questions, I'm going to answer your questions, so feel free, jump in the comments. We've got Ray, who's going to attempt to be looking at all of the different questions today. There he is. He's also controlling the board, so it's going to be a challenge for him. He's going to be reading all the questions and asking those. We've got Kev over this side. We don't have a camera on him today, but we do have a Kev. He's looking at the stream and making it all work. That's him talking over here, so thank you to Kev Dog. So first of all, I'm going to be looking at my phone to look at your questions that you've been sending in on Facebook. Now, during the show, you can post them on Facebook, but please just write them in the comments and I'm going to jump on and answer. So I've been asking a few things recently. Let me jump in here. What's your biggest challenge with photography? So we had some comments on this one, so I'm just going to have a look at them. One comment here was, welcome back. Well, thank you. Another one from Helen Jenkins Knight. Hello. Welcome. No. Hey there, Ed. We've missed you. Oh, you know what? I've actually missed being on YouTube Live. In fact, I've missed YouTube completely. I haven't been on it for, how long? 2 months? 3 months? Yeah. Something like this. It's been a catastrophe. So, has anybody tuned in? Do we have people watching? Okay, we do have some people. That's great. So let's have a look at some questions. Being a new photographer, confidence is my main challenge. Okay, if you're challenged with confidence when taking, I'm guessing that's when you're on a shoot, maybe with models or with people, you are completely right that you need to exude confidence. Because if the model thinks that you know what they're doing, no, if the model thinks that you know what you're doing, then you're in. Then it means that they are going to be completely open and free and listening to your direction. But just like anything, it's practice. So to increase your confidence, what you need to do is practice a lot. Take lots of photographs, interact with people, do photo shoots in public. Make it very uncomfortable for yourself. The more confident you can be, the better. I hope that that has answered your questions. And that's from Chad Mangum. If you're not confident with actually the equipment or something like this, then again, it comes into practice. Like, work with your equipment a lot. So go through, practice all your settings, challenge yourself, change your settings. If you're going to take a photograph of something, do something different. Switch out your f-stop to something that you never really shoot with. If you always shoot wide open at f2.8 or 1.8, then go to f16 and challenge yourself and see, you know, what you need to do with your ISO or your shutter speed to do things differently. Knowledge gives you confidence. So that's the main thing there. Next one, welcome back. Biggest challenge, this is from Dione Marin, low light event photography. Okay, so if you're going to be shooting in low light and it's event photography, there's a lot of challenges with that. Number one is getting enough light into your camera. So to do that, you want to shoot wide open. So f1.8 if you've got it, f2.2, f2.8, as wide as you can possibly go. But then what you're going to do is introduce the challenges of depth of field, meaning getting people in focus is going to be a lot harder. So you need to be as stable as you possibly can. Get those elbows into the side as you're shooting, so you kind of lock yourself off and really hold your camera nice and steady. Think about your breathing. So it's quite easy when we're shooting things like this that we're breathing fast, we're trying to capture it. Take your time, set up the shot, wait for it to come into focus, and breathe, and then take the photograph. That's going to allow you to have a slightly longer shutter speed. Now, event photography, things are going to be a little bit more blurry, but use that to your advantage. So use a longer shutter speed and a wide angle lens. Capture the entire event and have the people actually kind of blur out of focus. But for that, what you're going to really want to do is have it on a tripod, so the things that don't move stay perfectly sharp. So you want to have a nice wide aperture, so as low as you can possibly go. Your shutter speed, what you're going to want to do is don't go slower than, it all depends on what your skill set is, but I wouldn't go slower than 1/160th of a second or 1/200th of a second, because it's going to be blurry. And then what you've got is your ISO. Boost your ISO high enough so that you're letting in enough light. But remember, you can always shoot half a stop darker and then lift it in post-production if that means that your images are going to be sharp. That's always a bit of give and take between production and post-production. So when you're taking the photographs, if everything's blurry, just shoot them all a little bit too dark. And then in post-production, make it a bit lighter. At least they're in focus. They might be grainy, but they are in focus. Okay, so let's jump on to another question that I put up. I did a fill in the blank. I always like it when I do these, and people always jump on and answer a lot. And I'm going to read some of these out. Fill in the blank. When I tell people I'm a photographer, they blank. Okay, so when I tell people I'm a photographer, they, and Javier Del Cid said, they ask what my day job is, and I answer back, I'm a photographer. So that happens a lot. People think that you're just an amateur or that you don't actually do it as a profession. Stay strong, be a professional photographer, and just, own the fact that you make a living through taking photographs. People always question it though. This is a good one from Ryan Meadows. They tell me that they need to set up a shoot soon for their kids or family or project, etc. And then they almost never have the time or the money to follow through. And then they always ask for something for free. That there is probably the number one thing for any photographer, anybody that does any type of video or production or anything. People learn what you do, and then they think, oh, I can get this for free or for cheap. Or they get really interested because they've got this project and they never call you. My advice with these things is, people don't want to pay, don't shoot for them. If they don't want to pay enough, say they need to pay more. And if they keep promising and they never have time, don't talk to them about what you do. Don't talk to them about photography, and just talk to them about other things, because they're basically just wasting your time. Now, a couple of caveats with that. When do you shoot for free? If it's going to improve your portfolio, which is something that you're going to need, then shoot for free. Or if you're able to make a deal, a favor, some kind of a business exchange, then do it for free. But if you're just constantly shooting for free and they're using your stuff to make money, get paid. If they're going to use your photographs to promote their business, you get paid because they're making money from your photographs, so should you. Here's another one. Ask for free shit because you can build your portfolio. If you've got a great portfolio, you don't need to build it for free. You can charge people money. Charge people money. It's important to make money so you can actually have it as a living. I like this from Dennis R. Sirindran Singh. Sorry about your name. They said that when I tell people that I tell them I'm a photographer, they bow in the presence of awesomeness. Well, good for you. I've yet to achieve that. But there you go. That's the confidence that you need right there. I love it. Evarts says that he always gets asked if he gets paid. That's true. People expect that you do your work for free. And also, people wonder if you actually do get paid and make money. And Kulksar Lulia says that they never really say that they're a photographer because they just don't get a good response. But if they do, they always ask how much money I make And they say that they don't make any money, so it's funny, they said. I don't know if that is funny, but maybe you just do it as a hobby. So no, you don't make money, and that's absolutely... Remember, you don't have to make money from everything in life. That's okay. Most people ask for a session. That's what Jafat Batella said. Good for you. If most people want a session, as long as they're paying, that's great news. Ronald Zaconet said, what's your real job? That's a question that people ask a lot. People start getting negative about your work a lot. That's what Nigel West said. And then my uncle, Jeff, said that most people just laugh. It's true. Actually, nobody's ever laughed at me, but they do give you some funny looks. Okay, now we're going to... Do we have any questions from the comments? Yeah. Oh, we have questions. And then we're going to jump in. I have lots of questions on Facebook that were asked yesterday, so I'm going to get onto that. But first of all, let's see what questions we've got from people that tuned in.
Cool. So a couple just comments. People have missed you. Helen Jenkins Knight says hello.
Oh, Helen Jenkins Knight, we've missed you too.
And more importantly, she says hi to me, so hey.
Hey, Helen Jenkins Knight making friends.
So people want to know if there's a challenge next week, or when's the next challenge, and do we know what the theme will be?
Got you. Okay, so this is great that you're asking this. This is a weird one because next week there is no PIC Live. Hey! Yay! We've come back for 1 week. No, this is to come. So today what's happened is I've come back because I'm about to upload a load of new stuff to YouTube, and we are back, and we are going to come in with season 2 of PIC Live with a few new features to the show and things like that. That won't be starting this week. That will, next week. That will be starting the week after that. And the reason why we're starting now is because if any of you guys have any thoughts that we should be doing in our PIC Live shows, we are going to come up with some new ideas and we're going to incorporate them into the new show. So this is part of me asking you guys the questions. Next week, though, the beginning of next week, I will be publishing on Facebook what the first PIC Live challenge will be. We've not figured that out yet because we are making some changes, but we are going to keep the regular challenge scenario for a section of the show where you guys can upload your photos and I will be reviewing them as we did before. So 2 weeks we're starting that. Next week is when we're going to release the challenge theme. Gotcha. Any other questions?
Yes, we have one from Chris Briggs. His question is, how do I know when it is time to upgrade my equipment to a full frame? Right now, I use a D7000 and a D5200.
Great. So you use a D7000, D5200. They're both Nikon and they are both DX format. That means they are crop sensor or, a smaller sensor. They're not what's called full frame. Full frame is basically almost exactly the same size to what a regular 35mm film size would have been. The sensor is equal to that. So when should you upgrade? You only upgrade your equipment when you have reached the limits of your current equipment. Don't upgrade because there's something new. Don't upgrade because there's all sorts of ads all over Facebook and YouTube and everything about new equipment and you're reading all these articles. Once you have reached the limits to your ability and the camera is now impeding your growth or your quality of work, then it's time to upgrade. I shot DX for years. I shot on a Nikon D300 and D300S, and then I went full frame. Two things to remember. Once you upgrade to something which is full frame, Canon has crop sensor, full frame. Sony does the same. Like all the different brands do this. Few things to remember. The lenses, most lenses are locked to a certain sensor size. So if you've been shooting DX, a lot of your lenses will only work DX. Now, a lot of the new DSLRs though, once you upgrade to a full frame, it will allow you to shoot in crop sensor mode. However, what's happened is, now you're just using the middle of the sensor and you've not got any of those benefits. So when you upgrade your camera body, you are going to have to upgrade your lenses. So the expense can be quite big. A great transition though, I think, is if you own the Nifty 50 lens, the plastic fantastic, whatever you want to call it, Nikon, all the big brands do this 50mm lens. It's got very few pieces of glass in, and it's very inexpensive. It's like $100, $150. That lens is a full frame lens. So if you own that and you've been shooting on a DX or a crop sensor, you've actually been shooting around 80, 85 millimeters. So if you buy a full frame camera, then that lens is going to work instantly. You're now going to be shooting true 50 millimeters, so a lot wider than what you're used to. So that's a great way of kind of getting into the FX or the full frame size and then having a cheap lens that's going to work straight away. But only upgrade your equipment once you're not achieving, once your current equipment is stopping you from growing. And you really feel it. I remember all of a sudden I was like, I couldn't move forward. I was getting frustrated with my images because I was shooting DX, and then I decided to go. One of my best friends, Dan Cooper, literally 2 months ago, maybe less, went from DX to full frame, and he's just gone through this, and it was a massive decision for him. In fact, what he's currently doing is he's renting full frame lenses for a while to kind of help him transition. Yeah, anyway, I hope that answered that question. Long form. Piggyback, we have one more, and then I'm going to get onto the Facebook questions because you did come and ask me these. Let's go.
Okay, so do you shoot anything with the crop sensor? If so, EF or EFS lenses?
Okay, so yes, not anymore. I used to shoot crop sensor, so I shot with as I just said, the D300, the D300S. I've shot with a bunch of other different Nikon crop sensors. Now I have a number of lenses that I would use with this, but what I actually did was I started buying full frame lenses while I was shooting DX, and I just knew that the focal length was kind of skewed. But I had the 50mm, but then specific to the DX, I had the Nikon 1755. This focal length for me was fantastic in DX format. I found that I could shoot lots of different scenarios, great for events, great for portfolio building, all of these things with a lens that was kind of that mid-range to kind of wide. It's kind of similar to once you go full frame, there's the 24-70 that most brands do, that sits right in the middle and is basically a killer, awesome sharp lens. It's what we're shooting with today.
We have a battery on charge. It's going to be the D850. So we're going to switch now to the D800. Hopefully, am I now this D800? Pretty much. So, oh, we've got no audio.
You're on my mic.
I'm currently on this audio.
You're on my mic.
I'm on. So yes, I did shoot crop sensor. Now I don't. However, mirrorless. There's full frame. There's also APS-C, and there's also all different sizes. I do shoot with a Canon, a little point and shoot, the SX70.
Is that what it's called? No. G7X. I got there in the end. The Canon G7X. Are we now back?
Yes.
We're back and we are rolling, thank you. G7X does a little point and shoot. I shoot with that. That's crop sensor, but it does not have interchangeable lenses. Okay, let's jump into this. Let's go to the very bottom here. Lindsay Brunton asks, who cuts your hair? Me. I've cut my own hair for a very long time. Kev's here. Kev, come and get in the shot. This is Kev. He makes all of this happen. He's doing the live stream.
Hey.
Look at his hair. He's the one that he's wearing it today. Sandals and socks. Not okay. I'm just never gonna let that drop. This is how you do it. Look, I'm wearing sandals, no socks. You see? Okay, who cuts my hair? I've got my own hair for a very long time. Long story short, let me tell it. I was in Mexico. I was going to a premiere, red carpet event down there for a movie premiere, and I went to have my hair cut, and they did a terrible job. They did it like all slick back like this. So I had to cut it myself. I stayed in a hotel. I went and spoke to the hotel manager. They gave me a knife from the kitchen, and I hacked off my hair, and I actually thought afterwards it looked pretty cool. So from that day on, I've never been to a hairdresser, and that was about 10 years ago. Booyah. Where to start if new post-production software? Thanks and advice. That's from Sarah Cole. I'm guessing that's asking, what post-production software. Are we talking photography or video here? I don't know. If you're going to be in photography, I would just say sign up for Adobe Creative Cloud and just use Lightroom at first, then move on to Photoshop. It's the best thing for you. It's a beautiful ecosystem, and I think it's about $10 a month or about £10 a month, something like this. Use that, it's fantastic. If we're talking video, Adobe Creative Cloud, they have a bunch of stuff there. It gets more expensive when you get into video, about $50 a month. But if you're working with Apple computers, buy Final Cut Pro X. We edit all the videos on Final Cut Pro X. It's a little bit pricey. It's around $200, I think, $300 maybe. But you buy it once and you get lifetime updates forever. That's what lifetime means. So that's what I would personally do there. And practice. Another question. Somebody sent a sophisticated question a while ago. I didn't answer them. Oh, here we go. I don't have a calibrated monitor, so when I send my pictures to the print shop, they usually come underexposed and with color defects. Okay, this is what's really important. I have a video coming out in about a week, maybe 2 weeks, which is all about monitor calibration. We've actually started filming this and the importance of this. And I'm actually going to show you on screen the differences in monitors, even though they're high-end monitors, and the different effects that you can get from that. And if you don't calibrate your monitors, the problems that you're going to have when you go to print or show your photos somewhere else. So the thing is there, calibrate your monitors. You're going to have to do it, I'm afraid. He also says, this person, I can't pronounce your name, sorry, Zik Rohongshek. I spent a lot of time in Photoshop creating test strips with added brightness to be printed on 4x6 paper. And so so basically he's created all these different things where he can test it all and then send it away. Personally, I would say if you're spending a lot of time in Photoshop and to create test strips and all sorts of different things, buy a monitor calibrator. Calibrate your monitor. You won't have to do any of that stuff. You'll save lots of time in Photoshop and Lightroom, and you'll just be able to guarantee that your images are right first time. The other things to learn to help you with your printing is learn to read a histogram. The histogram is your friend. It will tell you all the information that you need to know about a photograph without actually seeing the photograph. You can see if it's under or overexposed. You can even see, when it prints, what it's going to look like. In fact, go onto YouTube, and I have a two-part video on how to print and how to create proofs inside Lightroom. In fact, I think Ray, you're going to pick that up. So we're going to look into that. It's 2 parts. There's a girl wearing a red bikini in the thumbnail. Watch those videos. We're going to bring them up and show you a little bit of it, but I literally explain how to print and how to create the correct ICC print profiles and how to actually edit for print to make sure you can soft proof, which means that you don't have to print. If you proof it's a hard print, you have to print it, the printer sends it back, you see it, it then comes back, and then you can make adjustments. Soft proofing is something that Adobe created, which you can actually, well, they didn't create it, but you can do inside Lightroom, and it's absolutely amazing. Do we have a little bit of it? Okay, skip to the middle of the video, I think, or somewhere where you can, here we go. So let's go into this. We're going to play a little bit of the video and you're going to see me talk about it. I'm just going to keep zoomed in here so we can see here as I click through, because this is what's really important, as sRGB. Now let's look at this coated version. Okay, this is actually CMYK, I believe. Look at how that changes the color of the dress. So this is what it would look like when you print. Okay, now let's have a look at another one. Let's look at a double weight matte paper. Okay, now let's have a look at again, it changes this here. And let's what happens if we go on metallic glossy paper. Are you ready? And let's what happens if completely changes this again. And then let's choose one more, one that the watercolor. And then let's choose going to change again. And then let's just go into a standard semi-matte paper, which is what I usually use. And that changes it again. So you can see it actually changes what you're going to do. Now, so you can see I want to point out a few other points here. Now, and that is this. So color has a range, and a printer can only print whatever colors it is capable of printing, and that's called a gamut, I believe. So what you might have in an image is a color which is outside of the range. Okay, so that was a little bit of that, and also in that break we also tried to fix my mic delay. I think that happened when the battery died, so please comment and let us know if I am back in sync or not. We are working to fix it. Next question, do you have any favorite photojournalists? I probably should have looked this up or something before I came onto this. Easiest answer is no. I don't actually follow any specific photojournalists. However, I do love photojournalism. So I have a number of books, you know, National Geographic, they bring out their photojournalism books, and every now and then I'll find myself flicking through. I don't follow anybody specific, but if you're looking for things like that, then just search photojournalists on National Geographic, and they every single year publish a bunch of stunning photographs that were taken, which is just, you know, beautiful storytelling. When we talk about photojournalists, if you're unsure, you've got fashion photographers, you've got photojournalists, you've got lifestyle photographers, all these different things. A photojournalist, what they are doing is, just like a news reporter, they're reporting stories, often newsworthy stories, via the medium of photography. So therefore, a photograph would usually tell a story in a single frame, or at least in a number of frames would be able to tell a story. So yeah, short answer, no, I don't, but I do like photojournalism. Okay, do you get on with other Photoshop YouTubers like Jesus Ramirez, Unmesh Dinder, and Aaron Nace? I have not met any of those guys. However, let's talk about all of those guys. So the first guy, Jesus Ramirez, he runs, who is this guy? He runs the Photoshop training channel, PTC. Search him on YouTube. His channel is fantastic. Loads of videos, really great resourceful stuff. I love the guy, watched a load of his videos. Talented educator and full of lots of wise words. Next guy, Unmesh Dinder. He is fairly new to YouTube. He popped up a couple of years ago, I think. He always has these videos where he's got this beautiful mic. He's from India. He's got the most incredible facial hair you've probably ever seen. And he goes, hello and welcome. And he has this wonderful, really deep voice when he talks. Fantastic information, really well produced videos. Should we play a little bit from him? Do we have one of the... Listen to this guy's voice. This is amazing.
No, if you didn't know, we have got a ton of examples to illustrate each patch tool in Photoshop. Right from what is the patch tool and how to use it to some really interesting techniques that you wouldn't know if you didn't know. We have got a ton of examples to illustrate each and every technique. It's going to be a fun tutorial, so without it...
See there, he has lots of awesome things, but his voice is just so... awesome. He's got a beautiful microphone and knows how to do it. He also knows how to create tutorials. So definitely follow and watch that guy. I have mad respect for him. And then the final one that we're talking about here, Aaron Nace. Who is Aaron Nace? He runs the Photoshop. He runs the YouTube channel Flern, and he also runs Flern.com, where they have all these pro tutorials. You can subscribe, it's $10 a month, I think, and you get all of these amazing things. His stuff is absolutely fantastic. Another guy who has started from nothing and has created this wonderful business, but also just a great journey through everything. Do we have something of Aaron Nace? Should we bring something up there? This is Aaron Nace. Let's bring him up.
Photoshop.
This is not Aaron Nace. This is Aaron Nace. Let's bring him up. This is what Photoshop. I want to see not Aaron Nace. Flood, you see?
Hey guys, and welcome to Flood. My name is Aaron Nace, and you can find me on Flood. Hey guys, and welcome to Flood. My name is Aaron Nace. Chances are,
so that there is Aaron Nace. His stuff is really great. He literally has a video on everything in Photoshop and all sorts of pro stuff. So, do I get on with them? Of course I do. They're all amazing. These guys are talented people who are also, they're sharing a similar space to me and kind of what I do. For me, there is no competition. I don't compete with anybody else. All I do is try and put out the best content that I know how to and give you guys really great information. So mad respect for anybody that tries to do this. There's a lot of work that goes into it. What is a good micro 4/3 lens for taking super close-up insect shots? Okay, so micro 4/3, that is a sensor size. For micro 4/3 macro shot, I would say that you want to go with a macro lens. This is something that can focus very close. You probably want a Panasonic lens. I think they have a Panasonic V60. Let me look that up. I might have made that up. Let me just look for this. Macro, hold on. Micro 4/3, and I think it's, let me have a quick look at this. Oh yeah, we want to go for, none of these. Oh, here we go. It's the Olympus M, the Z60. I said V60. That's the lens that you would go for, micro 4/3. It's an Olympus lens, actually. It's not a Panasonic. And it's the M Zuiko Digital ED 60mm lens. It is a fantastic close-up lens and mega sharp. There we go. How do you suggest shooting low-light events without a tripod? I think I already answered that before. You would just want to basically slow down. You want to boost your ISO, and then if it's still too, no, you want to keep your ISO not too high. You want to get your shutter speed at least 200th of a second or faster so that nothing's blurry. And you want to get your f-stop as low a number as you possibly can, letting as much light. And then if it's too grainy, bring down that ISO a little bit and then boost it up a little bit in post-production. Okay. Here we go. Big Ferguson, big with a double G. That is big. Hi Ed, glad you're back. Can't wait for the live stream. I actually have 2 questions. Should I do stock images and is it worth it? My opinion, stock photography, if you started doing it in the 90s, you have it made. If you want to get into it now, probably not. Honestly, I got into doing a bit of stock photography years ago. I made a little bit of money off it. In the end, I sacked it off, took all my photos down, and I started a website called stockpic.com, STOKPIC.com. That's my site. I own it. Most of those images are mine on that website. It gets 500,000 views a month, and we have, I don't know, 2-3 million downloads of my images. Some of my images have become so popular on that site that I've had news articles written about specific photographs because they are seen everywhere. Some of the photographs, I actually cannot be on the internet for more than about half an hour without me seeing my photos. So head over to stockpic.com. I think we're going to bring up the website. This is what it looks like. This is one of my sites. You can sign up. We send you free photographs. All of my photographs are 100% for free to download and use for any purpose apart from putting them on another stock photo website. I make money from advertisement on that, and I make more money advertising on there than I ever did on stock photography, and I still don't make very much money at all. So that's just an idea there. I personally wouldn't get in stock photography unless you're going to do it as a full-time job and you are going to be uploading 30 photographs every single day. Okay, got a couple of questions coming in. And also, what makes a great photograph for you? Cheers, Oliver. This is weird. Are you thanking me, Oliver? My name's Ed, because the person that wrote this was Big Ferguson. Maybe your name's Oliver Ferguson. I'm confused. Very confused. What makes a great photo for you? Story. If it brings me in, if it makes me double take and it makes me think about something, or I just love it as a beautiful piece of imagery, that's a great photograph. I don't care if it's sharp, I don't care if it's exposed correctly, I don't care what the color grade is. Does it grab my attention? Does it bring me in? That's all I want to see from a photo. Let's go.
Okay. A couple of people are dying to know, were you in the audience of America's Got Talent?
Yes, I was. I have had so many Facebook messages, comments, people taking photographs and sending me them on Instagram. Yes, I was on this season's America's Got Talent in the audience. I was also involved in a few other things, but I can't tell you absolutely anything whatsoever about it. But I was at the taping, a number of tapings for America's Got Talent for this season. Stay tuned. It's a good season.
Said you got a lot of airtime. It must have been the hair.
Must have been the hair. Yeah, I haven't seen myself on it apart from all the people that send me all the photos. So that's kind of amusing. Any more questions?
Yes.
Okay, let's do another one. Shall I do another one while you find it?
Okay, well, this one's from a person called Anonymous. Must be new to the channel. Is there any way by which I can get my captures reviewed by you? I really love your videos, and it would be an honor if I can get a chance. Please do let me know if this is possible.
Great, Anonymous. Anonymous, whoever you are. Yes, of course you can have your photographs reviewed by me on the regular PIC Live show. It's usually every week. We're starting up again in 2 weeks for season number 2, where you can upload your photographs live, and it's theme oriented. So if we do landscapes, you have to upload a landscape. It goes through Kev, who makes sure that there's no nudity or nothing that we're not allowed to show. I then get it on my computer live, and I tell you exactly what I think, how you can improve, and how I might even edit the photograph differently. So yes, that's something you do. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. Oh, also, guys, if anybody's watching right now, under the subscribe button, there's a little bell. Click on the bell and get a notification for whenever I post a video. What stylus do you use with your Mac to edit your images with? Is this a standard Magic Mouse pad or something else? Many thanks. I use a Wacom tablet, and they are absolutely incredible. Mine's actually about 4 years old, and I've not had to upgrade anything with it. Maybe it's 5 years old. I spilled like 2 or 3 pints of beer onto it on 2 different occasions, and it stopped working, and I dried it out, and it continued to work. These things are robust and awesome.
And Helen Jenkins-Snipes wants to know if you have a tutorial about it.
I do not have a tutorial. I have a video on why you should use one, but I don't have a tutorial. I should probably make one. I will make one, Helen. Okay, stop nagging. Yes, okay, I will get onto that. However, I use a Wacom tablet. I use the current equivalent is the Intuos Touch Pro Medium. Don't buy the large, it's too big, there's no need for it. The small is perfectly adequate for me. The medium is bang on, it's comfortable to use. It's absolutely incredible. It will speed up your editing no end, but it takes some learning. It is very confusing at first, because of where you put your pen relates to the screen as opposed to the mouse relates to where the mouse currently is. Very weird. But once you get the hang of it, mind blown, it's amazing. In fact, underneath any of my YouTube videos, but probably not on this one because we did a late live stream, you'll see a little list of things which is like, look at the most awesome bag, look at the most blah, blah, blah. I think I have on there a link to the Wacom tablets on Amazon. So use those. Any Amazon link that I use, just click on it, because it's an affiliate link. We do our thing there, although we don't really use it at all. But anyway, yes, Intuos Touch Pro by Wacom. Use it, they're amazing. I tried other ones, these monitors that you can draw on. What was it called? XP Pen? Or something. We're using the monitor now because the calibration is so bad we can't use it for using it as a stylus drawing thing. Wacom is by far the best, in my opinion. What camera and microphone do you use to make your edit in Lightroom videos? P.S. I hope you will bring these back soon. Okay, well, I'm going to be making some new Lightroom editing videos. So, yes, they are coming back. What do I use? The original ones that I did were mainly shot on a D800 by Nikon. Now I'll be using the D850 for that. And the microphone I use is the Sennheiser. I'm using it right now. It's a lavalier microphone. And it's this set which is called AVX. It's awesome. If I sound good, that is. It's awesome. So there you go. How do you get over being a pixel peeper? Okay, so what is a pixel peeper? A pixel peeper is where you zoom so far into your image and you really like analyze it and you see if it's super sharp, super like in focus, and if there's any moire or if there's any blur or like all these different things. How do you stop being that? I mean, this person's written here, they think that the photo looks overall great, and then they push it to 3:1, and the world ends. That will happen to pretty much anything unless you are working at super high levels, shooting on some like stupid Hasselblad or something. And even then, if you keep on zooming in, at some point it doesn't work. Everybody does it at first. I used to do it. When you edit, first of all, 1:1 editing, so that's full resolution, full scale on your monitor, is probably too close, because think about where it's going to be used. That is the most important thing. Editing blemishes or things like this, then yes, you got to pixel peep a little bit to get in. But if you're going to be looking at it on your phone, that's the maximum you're going to see it. Or if you're going to print it 7:5, or it's going to be for a magazine shoot, you know, and you're shooting it in a, 12:8 for 11:8 for a magazine. If that's what you're going to do, edit it 11:8. At 300 dpi, if that's what they're printing it as. And that is the resolution, the maximum that this is going to be looked at. So if you look at that and you can't see the blemish, then why zoom in and get rid of it? Because it's never going to be seen. Only edit for the format to which it's going to be viewed. So if it's going to be put on the side of a billboard, you might want to zoom in a lot and really do some details there. If you're only going to share it on Facebook, then who cares? Because they're going to crush it anyway, and people are only going to view it on their phone in the timeline this big. So it just doesn't matter. So if you're going to be printing it 7:5, edit it 7:5. If you're going to be, you know, and things like that. If you're really going to be putting it on some of the service where people are going to be zooming in and looking at the detail, then you're going to want to go in. But who's doing that? Nobody else is doing it to your photographs, so why are you doing it to your photographs? That's the main thing. Let's have a look. Helen Jenkins Knight, my question. If all of your gear was stolen, don't ever say that. Don't ever say that, Helen. How would you start? Again, what core kit would I buy? Would I buy it straight away, or would I wait till later? Would you stick to DSLR, or would I move to mirrorless? This is actually a really, really, really great question, Helen. Number one, it's not going to happen. So there you go. But number two is, first of all, I'm very happy with all my equipment. It is awesome. However, if I got full money back on 100% of everything and I could just do it again differently, I would look differently at my kit. So I've built it over years. I have lenses that I now basically don't use because I've upgraded them, or they sit within another focal length, or it just doesn't suit my shooting style. So I just wouldn't get certain lenses. And I would look at buying a kind of an overall kit where I'd buy like every single focal length that I would need. I still, for photography, would not go mirrorless, wouldn't even think about it. Personally, I think that Nikon has a huge edge when it comes to this, the quality of image right there. But I would probably do this differently. I'll buy two independent kits. The money that I would save on certain things, not rebuying it, I would buy a photography kit and a video kit, and I would try not to do things with the same equipment. And for that, I might buy mirrorless for the video side of things. That might be something that I would do, because the Nikon D850 that we're shooting video on right now, the video quality is insanely good. It's fantastic. But with DSLRs, the challenge that we have with DSLRs is the focusing is still challenging because it has to use the mirror. So if it's not got the mirror, it's using a different focusing style so that sometimes it still doesn't catch focus, whereas a mirrorless camera is so much faster and more smooth. There you go. Ray, do you have any more questions? Your battery's about to die on the GoPro, so you got a thing over your face. You should say hello.
How do I X that out?
I don't know. I think you're just gonna have to deal with it.
All right. Sure. Okay. So this.
It looks like I don't know. It looks like you're in trouble with the.
No. All right.
Trying to push it out of the way.
So this question is from Adam Solar. He asked a while ago. Settings for nightclub photography with flash? Question mark.
Setting for nightclub photography with flash.
Yeah.
So you're balancing the flash against the background. It all depends on, do you want to get the nightclub visual as well, or you just want the photograph of the people? The easiest way to do all of those things is you balance for what you want in the background. So for example, you go, okay, I want to see some of the people, so I'm going to shoot at this shutter speed, at this ISO, something like that, so you can see some of the details in the background. And then what you do is then you add the flash as a fill flash, and you edit the exposure of the flash to make sure that it's just filling the subject which is close to you, so that that's going to be in focus. Now, if you want to use a flash in a nightclub to light the nightclub, don't bother, because you're never going to do it. So you're only going to be able to light a subject which is close to the camera. So it's like, you're taking photographs of people having a great time. Most flashes, a TTL flash, a flash that you pop on the top of your camera, will do all of this automatically. It would balance it for you. So just make sure you buy a really great branded flash and you and practice. But if you really want to get into it, shoot manual, have the flash in manual mode, and then all you want to do is balance the light for the background, and then turn on the flash and just creep that up until you got the exposure correct. There you go. Any more questions?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to be here for another 10 minutes only, guys.
My battery signal. Anonymous asked again if you could tell the website where you Photos in Color Live is, and we'll probably add the description.
Yeah, so Photos in Color Live, this all PIC Live happens here on YouTube. So you subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell, and 3 days or something like this before the video, the live stream is promoted at the top of the YouTube channel, so you will see it's coming up. If you hit a bell on that, it will give you a notification when we go live. So that's the easiest thing. All the information for uploading photos and everything about that, and the countdown timer for it as well, actually. It currently won't be doing anything, but if you go over to photosincolor.com/live or PIC Live, either /live or /PIC Live. Photosincolor.com/live, all the information will be there, and we update that. There it is. Look at this. So this is how the information looks, and there is a countdown timer. You can see the countdown. It currently says 00000, but it will change so that we count down to the next live show. In fact, we'll update that today for the one in 2 weeks. There we go. Any more questions?
Yes.
Oh, we got questions. I love questions. Let's go.
Okay, this one's from Michael Wheaton. What are some professional business tips you could offer to anyone and everyone building their brand as a production company?
Great business tips for somebody wanting to build their business, their production company, photography. I guess you're also talking video, it sounds like. I can speak very directly for this. 3 years ago, I was working as a performer. I was in a big show, and then I decided to quit and become a photographer, to quit and become a video producer. And I had zero. I had no clients. I had no business, no branding, no nothing. I started from zero. The best thing you can do is activate every single day. Start doing things. Make lists. I make lists. This is an old book. I just happen to have it next to me. But if I flick through here, inside this, you'll see most of these things is just lists and lists and lists. I make lists every single day of things that I want to do, and I check them off. Make lists. Achieve them. Make them achievable goals. And then what you want to do is get out there, meet people, find clients. And this is the big thing when you're building a business. Don't expect that straight away you can start charging people a lot of money for your services. You might be lucky and be able to do that. The way that I built my business is I went out there and I found some clients and I started working with them, but everything was built on a relationship that was going to last a long time. So at first I would show them what I was able to do at a very low price and saying, we'll be able to do all of these things. And then throughout time, these companies only work with you. So they ever want photos, they call you. They ever want video, they call you. And this is the number one thing. Deliver on time and what the client wants. Stop being creative and stop not delivering. These are the number one things that will allow you to grow your business. Now, I said stop being creative. That you might be like, wait, how are you going to stop being creative? You're a photographer, you work in the creative industries. Yeah, clients, they think or they do know what they want. Listen, talk to your client. What is the deliverable? Ask them, what are you looking for me to deliver? What should this look like? How many would you like? Sort all of these things out. Ask them lots of questions at first so that you know what they expect from you. And then deliver exactly that. Don't worry about over-delivering, but never under-deliver. Don't be like, well, I thought, and this was a great idea. If you want to do that, pitch them on that after or during the process. But what you film, what you photograph, what you edit is exactly what the client wants. Because what that means is the client goes, oh, I asked for this and they delivered perfectly. You can then advise later and be like, I don't think you made a good decision, or I think that this could have been better if we did this next time. And 9 times out of 10, next time they come and ask for your advice before they actually do a shoot. But you need to deliver what they want and deliver on time. Just never miss a deadline, ever. I'll stay up till 6 o'clock in the morning if I'm late on a project and it's got to be delivered by 9 a.m. I don't care. I will always deliver on time. So when you're building a business, it is based on you delivering a clear product that the clients know what they're receiving from you, and it's always done at a high level. Because my business that I've grown, which is In Color Studios, it's actually why I've not done a lot of YouTube lately. We have been so incredibly busy. I've been able to work with the same clients. One client was one of my first clients, and I'm still working with them three and a half years later. Another client I picked up a year and a half ago, we still do all their work for them, and they just keep on bringing in more work. I just signed another deal with another client that we started really only shooting about 3 months ago. We just signed a 5-year deal with them because they're so happy with the work that we're delivering. All those things are very important to do, is that my clients know what I'm going to deliver and they can guarantee that they will receive that. So when you're building a business, that's what you do. And then you go and you get creative, and once you got their trust, now you think about what they could have, and then you push them and say, hey, have you thought about doing this? And you pitch them on you doing more work for them. And a lot of the time, either they have a budget to pay you, or you might have to wait till the next quarter, but they will create a budget to complete your project. That was a lot, but starting business is hard. You know, it really is hard, and you're going to get big bags under your eyes, and you're going to end up not looking like me, but you're going to end up looking sleepy like me. Any more questions, or are we going to call it?
One more question.
Okay, one more question. Here we go.
How do you store and back up your images?
Great question. How do you store and back up your images? First of all, number one, never delete any image ever, 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 unless when you go through the culling process to like completely black or completely out of focus. Get rid. But if they're okay, keep them, because it's amazing what the clients want. We just dropped the GoPro. So this is, I will talk you through our process once we've been out shooting. What happens is we go out, we take some photographs or some video. It doesn't matter, it's the same process for both. As soon as we come back, we take the memory card, it goes into the computer. One goes straight onto Dropbox. The other one goes onto a hard drive. They get saved. Boom. Got all of that stuff. Now what happens is, and that goes in a folder called 1.raw. I actually have a whole thing, Lightroom workflow. Search for Lightroom workflow and actually kind of go over this a little bit, if you, not including the backup, but just like file management. 1.raw. That's where all of those photos or video files live, and it lives in that on Dropbox, and which is an online service, which means it's backed up, and on a hard drive. And then what I do is I create a folder called 0.project, and that's where the Lightroom catalog or the Final Cut Pro, the editing software for video, that's where the project file lives. And what I do is I then start up the project and I edit it. I go through the editing process, and at the end of each day, I upload the latest project file, being the Lightroom file or the Final Cut Pro file. That then goes to Dropbox, equally called the same name. And then each day I'll update it until the project is complete. I then export the photographs and they go into 2.finals. And then all the finals go there. Now I have 3 folders: 0.project, 1.raw, 2.finals. Every single project I have ever done is organized in exactly that way. And what happens there is that's all equally matched on Dropbox. When the client is signed off on it, the hard drive gets deleted. Everything gets deleted because everything lives on Dropbox, and Dropbox backs it up to multiple servers in multiple countries. Now you might think, well, hold on a minute, how much Dropbox space do you have? Unlimited. I pay for unlimited Dropbox space. Now it's not cheap, it's, I don't know, it's like $2,000 a year, which might seem expensive, but I never, ever will lose a file, and every single thing is backed up always and forever. We have 30 terabytes inside Dropbox. So that's what we do with our folders and projects. And then if the client wants a re-edit or something, well, you know, we tell them it's going to take 2 days because we have to unarchive it, and that means download it from Dropbox. That's it. Hope that answered your question. I have NAS drives, and we used to do things that way, and we've done all sorts of different things, but that's been the most effective way that I figured out how to do it, using cloud storage that's actually not too expensive. Any more questions? I think we are done. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ed Gregory. We have Ray over here, we have Kev over here who has made this happen. Thank you for all your questions. PIC Live is coming back in 2 weeks. Next week, I will be giving you the challenge of what photographs I will be reviewing, and also we're going to figure out some other things for what the live show is going to incorporate. Remember, I've got new videos coming out on YouTube in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned, and we are back. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Ed Gregory from photosincolor.com. Exit theme tune.